Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 Gathering Storm, the New Frontier Pass as Scotland in the December update. Quite a mouthful for a introduction, but it is necessary if I do say so myself. Mali has taken the time to point out that I don't have a whole lot of troops, and there are some Swedish troops on my border. I'm hoping that these are a peaceful exploration mission. We do have the monument and a near fully built campus in Edinburgh, and I think the next move is to start cranking out some extra settlers. I could pick up the campus if I so chose, and honestly, I'm also tempted to do the old switcheroo in my capital. Put Pingala into my capital because it would generate me more science, and instead grab myself a builder in Edinburgh and then use the builder to chop out a bunch of settlers, because I do have tiles here that I plan to chop anyway. That's what we will do. We will swap Pingala into the capital. He will eventually produce more. We'll move Magnus over to Edinburgh, and about the time that builder pops out, and I can even bring this builder down to get the game started a little bit quicker. I have a trader up. It wouldn't be a bad idea to trade with the AI in this circumstance, because it would, you know, build a relationship with them. And I think trading with Mali is the right move here because I'll get +7 gold, which basically doubles my gold income right now. I'll also want to maybe get a second copy of Citrus online because that would allow me to trade it away without actually losing the benefits of the Citrus myself. And amenities are pretty important to me at this stage of the game. I have a category 5 hurricane right outside my borders, and Oracle is still available, which is an interesting thing here. But I do think that my demand for settlers is just a little bit too high, so we're going to hold off on doing that. Plus we need to start building the Petra and stuff like that. Tech wise, we did pick up mysticism. Let's head towards defensive tactics. There might be an entertainment complex on the cards here for me this game. It really depends. If I were to get, let's do a little bit of theory crafting right here. If I were to do this, right, if I were to go for the Colosseum, that would reasonably hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 3 of my cities, and potentially 4 and maybe even 5 if I settle a city over here. So I could hit 5 cities with the Colosseum, and that's 10 amenities across my empire. So I do think that that is something I'll go for. And I have a ton of chops around here, so I think I'm going to delay my settling even more and go for the Colosseum. Ah, the hurricane hit my maze. Okay, I'm going to unlock that tile because it's not so useful anymore. And I may even spend my money. I think I had planned to buy a granary in here to allow the city to hit 7 population in a reasonable time. And Roxburgh will basically put 1 turn into a library here. And then next turn we'll get to work on the Petra. Looks like a city-state that I hadn't met just got murdered. And right, Petra begin. Now it is a 59 turn Petra, but I'm hoping that as the borders of this city expand, that will lower down the amount of time that it will actually take. Kind of tempted to spend a bit of money in here to buy some better tiles, like for example right here, that would allow the city to continue to grow. Would also be good if I could buy the granary in here to allow the city to continue to grow as well. So picking up extra gold is going to be important to me, and I think the best way to pick up that gold is to build that plantation and in fact trade it to Sweden. Now they'll give me about 9 gold per turn, so I'll go ahead and take that deal. That 9 gold per turn will fill up my coffers nicely, and I'll get an extra 2 gold per turn for working that. But I think I will prioritize high production tiles to get that builder out just a scooch faster. Now I'm going to get to work on celestial navigation, like I said earlier, even if I would really like to work towards machinery to be able to better defend myself. I'm a bit worried about this army that Sweden has moving towards me, so I may have to stop off actually and grab myself archery and get myself a couple of archers to defend. All right, Sweden actually did declare war, which is no bueno, and he wants to buy my other copy of, wants to buy that. I don't think I want those horses, but you would give me 4 gold per turn, which isn't enough. Let's get to work on an archer in here. I will finish that builder, and then we'll also pick up masonry because I'll be able to use the builder to chop out walls and keep Edinburgh safe. Little concerned about my current status because this warrior will probably die. And my cities really do not have the combat strength to hold off for too long. I do have a chop in 1 turn, and I'll be able to chop out walls real quick. And also chop out some archers. I may have to switch here over to military tradition to plug in the card for unit production. And I'll bring this warrior back as well. This city has really, really low combat strength though, which is a big concern for me at this moment. Wasn't expecting Sweden. Was not expecting Sweden to go hardcore into warfare right here. But we're going to move this forward. And we will chop out ancient walls. Did I actually pick up defensive tactics? I didn't have defensive tactics. And so that's fine. We'll put a turn into walls here. And I've got a warrior coming. If we can get the walls up and get a warrior into that city, we should be fine. We should be fine. I have an archer on the way now. I spent 60 gold on that archer, which is far from ideal because I don't have a huge amount of gold. But I'll be able to chop out my walls. He wants to trade a 1-for-1 for salt, and I will accept that deal. It'll give me a couple of extra amenities to spread around. And even my capital now is happy, so it's getting that 15% boost to all of its yields from amenities, which is fantastic. Now if I chop here, I now have walls, which will give me a bit more defense. I'll also come in here and I will switch out the colonization card for the Agog card, so I can build archers just that little bit quicker. I'll keep this archer in between my two cities so I can defend both of them. And now I'll work towards defensive tactics. So things are just a little bit awkward right now. It should work out just fine. I would like the +2 science in every... maybe Mitla would be better. To get that extra little bit of upfront science on my libraries and stuff like that. Right, we have access to the wheel, so we could build heavy chariots to defend ourselves. We can also shoot this guy. And no matter where he goes, we can escape from his first hit. So that's fine. And plus, we're on defensive terrain here. Let's grab... engineering to head towards machinery. We'll also grab Arabiata. Let's have a look. Not the best one, but 3 boosts right now wouldn't be bad. I picked up machinery, military tactics, and buttress. So those are all totally fine things for me to pick up at this point. I think the walls are helping. We're also continuing to shoot that guy as well as here. I should be able to hold off on the chop here for a turn. I'm getting a little bit delayed. I was trying to go for like a very few cities, high, high defense sort of thing. But it's going to be a problem. I will be able to promote this guy, so even if he attacks me, I'll be able to take garrison. So this guy's pretty safe. We can shoot this guy right here. I'll move my warrior out of the city, and I'll shoot again with my archer, and he can't escape now unless he promotes. My plan was to get to work on an entertainment complex, but I'm going to need another builder now. Perhaps I chop out another archer. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. That archer should be able to hold his own there. And now I'm feeling pretty safe. I'll put a turn into a builder. My poor little scout took a pretty hefty hit, but he should be able to retreat to a safe distance. And we have access to insulae. Alright, this warrior, as I predicted, shouldn't be too big of a problem. This guy's fortified in place. I'll take the garrison promotion so I do extra damage, so he's a little bit scarier. You can go away and I'll approach you with my warrior. I still have a build charge left on this guy, so let's head there. Ideally, I would head here. Right, what's our next move in terms of technology? Really, it is to pick up machinery. Machinery is just going to make myself so much more defensive. For 250 gold, I can make my cities way stronger. It's an honor to meet you, Mavemba. And we also met Persia. Send a delegation to both Persia and Congo to try to improve our relationship, as well as India. Sitting on an envoy here, let's go to Muscat, get that +2 gold in my capital. This chariot is retreating now that it sees that my archer has the garrison promotion. He's much scarier. We will do a city shot, then an archer shot, and then an archer shot, and then we'll clear. Okay, he's dead. Grand. Hey, we found the Matterhorn. Very cool. Too bad it's not close to us, but we did get the hill movement thing and a promotion on this scout. So we'll be able to move around really, really quickly and find out more information about the world. Don't think I'm going to be able to get much out of a peace deal with Sweden, but she will take white piece, which is honestly fine, and I may be able to get a better relationship with her if I do open borders and ask her to pay me, and it looks like I might be able to get a friendship with India. Right, so audience chamber is complete in the capital. It's 4 turns until we hit our next growth milestone. I might go ahead and put a few turns into a settler, switch out of Agog, then switch back in colonization. We'll put a few turns into a settler, like I said, and then when we actually grow to 7, we'll place our diplomatic quarter, finish the settler, and then finish the diplomatic quarter. And I'm feeling pretty confident about that. This archer is in a great position to defend both of these cities. Really do need this city to grow, ideally. So let's buy the higher food tile, like so. And that'll allow, ideally, yeah, the city will slowly grow. And then if I can get a granary in there, we're in even better shape. All right, so we lost a warrior, but we gained 3 archers out of that war. Now I don't... It's probably still necessary to go for machinery, but I'll pick up celestial navigation first. My little scout can now take the woods and rainforest promotion, and he should be able to run his way around the terrain really easily now. Right, we have astrology. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a friendship with Mavemba. He may not take a friendship, but if we can get open borders, we do have a friendship with him. So ideally we want him to go to war with someone, and then we can sort of abuse that. I want to buy this tile. So I need to sell something to someone so that I can buy that tile. Is there a resource that I'm going to be getting online soon? All right, cotton. So I'd like to sell my cotton to pick up a bit of cash. Now he'll give me 12 gold per turn, which means you multiply that by roughly 20. So he will give me around about 240 gold. And you can always just tack on a few extra little bits of gold here just to make sure you get close to the right number. So about, oh, it's actually quite a bit more than I thought. Wow, it's actually a lot more than I thought. I must have done the maths on that a little bit wrong. Maybe it's 21 gold per turn. You multiply the gold per turn by. That kind of works out a little bit better there. Even perhaps 22 gold. But now that means I have enough gold to buy this tile for the chopping. And in a few turns, I'll be able to buy the granary in here and we can get to work on the Colosseum. I love it when scouts can just explore really far in a single turn, so I love Matterhorn and the Ranger promotion for scouts. Mutual open borders with Persia. They'll take a bit of my Diplo favor too, which is fine. We have access to sailing, so we can embark and build up some of these tiles. My builder is complete. Let's get that amenity back online, because I'd like to have just a little bit more for that extra boost. We are going to be placing now the entertainment complex. So what we'll do is we'll chop first. That'll bring down the entertainment complex build time to 5 turns. And then I think we'll hold on doing too much more chopping until we're actually working on the thingy itself. Now my question is, how much, if I cancel this, I can like right click it. How much is an arena? In terms of production, it's 100. So I would need 600 gold built up to actually get that. And if I was able to instantly purchase it, that could actually be a pretty big deal. So I may want to prioritize improving this luxury and this luxury to get that even faster. Because if I can purchase that, that's 150 production. I don't have to invest like in hard building. I'm a little bit worried about this. Is he going to kill Geneva? I really hope not. But we have defensive tactics. Let's get to work on feudalism. I'd hoped to build the 6 farms before I got there, but I didn't. And we'll also pick up researcher for the extra science so that we can stay competitive with the AI. We're still a little bit behind the AI, but it's not too bad, even so. Let's get the cotton online. Now we have access to another copy of cotton. Let's talk to Mansa Musa. What do you have? How much would you pay me for this? 3 gold per turn isn't a huge amount. What about oranges? Okay, he really won't pay me well for oranges. How about you? So she'll pay me about 12 gold per turn for my oranges, which again should be basically all of her gold. Probably be a little bit less than all of her gold, but somewhere in the region of 253-ish, I think is the right ballpark. Yeah, 252. So we'll take that. Now we almost have the money to purchase the entertainment complex building, the arena, and immediately begin work on the Colosseum. I will need a little bit more gold to actually purchase some tiles and do some chopping and stuff like that. But otherwise, we're in great shape in terms of competing for the Colosseum. At least that's what I'm hoping. Petra, on the other hand, is going to be a hard one to pull off. I did plan to put a granary in there, but I'm kind of prioritizing this. Even though the God Petra is the dream. I'm just hoping that this is another one of those games where the AI does not prioritize Petra. Even though I have Mansa Musa in the game, which can be kind of scary for that kind of a thing. There's Celestial Navigation, which means we can now build harbors. I'm going to work on getting machinery for defense. Having crossbowmen would be just a great way to hold off the AI's aggression. Stonehenge has gone, which is fine by me. Don't care too much for Stonehenge. Oh, I didn't mean to finish this settler. All right, that was a mistake. It's okay. We can get to work on another settler. In terms of settling patterns, I want to ideally settle high adjacency campuses first. And I'd also like to settle defensively. So in terms of a defensive settlement, I feel like somewhere down here is pretty good. There's plenty of fresh water. Ideally, I would settle off of this desert, maybe on the edge of the desert, and just use that for production and power late game. I could also settle over here to the west to kind of block off any sort of nonsense from India. It would be kind of hard. Ideally, I would settle here, but I would need to put a governor title into defending that city. And perhaps this would actually be a good Liang city. And you know what? I think this might be a good Liang city. So I'm going to appoint Liang and just hold on to her for the short term. And send this settlement west with this archer. I have the gold to purchase the arena, but I also need to have the gold to purchase the Colosseum tile. So I'm going to need to find just a little bit more gold. So let's talk to Cyrus and see what he'll pay me. He'll pay me 12 gold per turn, which means he'll pay me basically all of this, plus like 3 or 4 gold per turn. Looks like it was 2 gold per turn. Perfect. So now I have enough to do everything I need to get my super fast Colosseum, aside from buying these tiles to chop. Did I actually research the aqueduct, by the way? Yeah, I'm also going to place down the aqueduct, because again, the earlier you place a district that you plan to put, the cheaper it will be in the long run. And this city's off of freshwater too, and I'm only killing a single Petra mine when I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Petra mines, so I would lose 1. So it's like a small downgrade to place that. In fact, you know, it's probably better off I just hold off on doing that. All right, classical era ends in 7 turns. We double check. My Temple of Artemis is gone. Let's go ahead and purchase the arena. Boom, that's the extra amenities. Now we can go ahead and immediately place the Colosseum for 27 turn build time. However, it's not going to take that long because we also plan to buy this tile and immediately begin chopping. 84 production. I have on this guy 2 build charges. 84 production is about a quarter of that. So maybe it would be better if I were to get myself another builder and walk him down to assist in this. And in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'll hold on to these chops right here. And what I'm going to do to try to optimize, or choptimize as it were, is to research cheap technologies. And so I'll probably go like machinery into horseback riding, and around about the time I'm ready to chop, I should be able to pull it off with a slightly higher chop value. So yeah, a single one of these chops should do about a quarter of the Colosseum, but I want to hold off on chopping until I research another technology, because the more of the tech tree that you have researched, the more your chops are worth. And that's kind of like a small little optimization thing. Ye who chops early may find yourself with the wrath of the gods upon you. I also need to come in here and I think unlock some of these tiles and maybe prioritize. I'm going to prioritize production in this city. Maybe production and food. And that way we work really optimal high food, high production tiles and get that just that little bit sooner. Although, then again, let's say I were to take off food focus. That would actually shave a turn off of it. So I like the idea of shaving a turn off of it because it's going to be a pretty close race even in this current circumstance. Let's double check the appeal. Yeah, okay. My loyalty problem here isn't growing, and we should be able to get a monument in there fairly quickly to help with loyalty. And also, this city should be able to grow pretty well. And it also has the perfect spot for a campus as well, a +4 campus, which is exactly what we're looking for. They want to give me iron. I think I'll take this deal. This is a relatively cheap amount of diplomatic favor, and getting iron means that I could potentially upgrade this swordsman into a... or upgrade this warrior into a swordsman, which would give me more city combat defense strength, which means it's going to be harder to go to war with me. All right, so we're chop value, I think it was 84. We're about to finish machinery, and that gives me access to crossbowmen, so I'm feeling well defended, and that added another 4 production to my chop. It just slightly increases my efficiency. And so these are the kind of little optimizations you're going to want to be doing. I like to call them choptimizations. Looks like my open borders with India has run out. So we'll go ahead and make sure to renew that, because every time we do that, we get a little bit of value in terms of gold, but also our relationship is boosted. Let's go ahead and look and see if anyone's at war. It looks like Christina is at war with someone, so it would be really, really nice if I could find out, if I could get her to be my friend, find out who she's at war with, and sort of get her on my side and declare a war liberation. So I'll probably need to get around to getting a couple of scouts at some point, but let's get to work on our diplomatic quarter. And the reason I want the diplomatic quarter is because you get +1 diplomatic favor for each delegation or embassy from a foreign civilization through diplomacy. You also get an envoy if you build it next to your city center, and enemy spies operate at 2 levels below normal, targeting this district and adjacent districts. And this could be a really, really good place to put a spaceport later in the game, because it would be really, really, really well defended from spies. We're at 1/4 of the Colosseum completed. So I'll probably chop here now, and that'll bring us up to half. Then when I buy this tile and get both of my builders in position, I'll be able to chop out the Colosseum in a single turn in a little bit. Okay, so this is -10 now. That shouldn't be a big deal. I know I'm settling very, very close to you, okay? I apologize. What we're going to do is assign Liang to the city. Oh man, it's -6. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. It's because I have -1 amenity. Can I get that to optimize? That's really bad. I thought I would have slightly more loyalty in here, but my negative amenities are now a problem. So I need to see if I can maybe buy a spare amenity off someone. So my best thing to do is to go to the resources tab and see who has spares. Nobody has spares. This is just really, really bad. Now I'll have to go into my government and look for loyalty. And it looks like Limitanii is my only real way to get extra loyalty, but that will buy me a lot of time. So let's reset what we're researching to something a little bit sooner. See, it's 9 terms for feudalism. Maybe it'd be better to go for drama and poetry. Can I get this city to grow a little bit quicker? Not really. Not without buying a tile, and I can't afford to buy a tile with no resources. Maybe you would be willing to... How much would you be willing to pay for my iron? Like, realistically, 4 gold per turn isn't enough. Yeah, okay, this just isn't working out. I gotta figure out how to save this city. Well, when Liang is established, the city will get +1 amenity, so that should help. I am going to promise to not settle near him, because I do want to keep him happy. But my hope is, once Liang is established, since I have the audience chamber, that should take care of the amenity problem in here. My capital has 11 population room, which is fantastic, and Edinburgh has 10. So this double chop, that'll happen in a couple of turns. In fact, I'm going to do this, yes. All right, so we have time for another dedication. I'm going to go for free inquiry here. I'm on 3 cities, or well, 4 cities technically. This one is brand new, but I'm on 3 cities, and I'm relatively competitive with the AI, which is interesting. It's interesting that I'm able to keep up, because I really have not prioritized settling this game at all. He wants to buy my iron, and he gives me a good deal. I think I'm going to keep that iron and just do mutual open borders. Ideally, I want the AI to start sending me delegations, because there's a lot of diplo favor and stuff like that locked up in that. I'm going to vote for myself twice, and then I want to make sure that I vote for gypsum here. I'm hoping that gypsum is the resource that gets screwed. So I might even lower how many times I vote for myself and instead vote for Mansa Musa, because that's who I'm trading with, and hope that I can pass gypsum with my 3 extra votes. Looks like Mavemba won the first one, but that's fine. But more importantly, I preserved my amenities by voting for gypsum. I think our next move is to pick up apprenticeship. We don't have 3 mines yet, which is kind of odd, because I usually have a way more mines at this point. But next turn, or rather the turn after next, I'll be able to fully chop out the Colosseum, which is exciting. And that just makes settling nearby so much better. Meenakshi Temple has been built, which is fine. We're in position for our chops. You're still scouting. I'm also scouting over here. Where is more important? I think I'd like to find Sweden, so I'm going to send this scout in that direction to make you know, friends with Sweden. Loyalty in Ire has stabilized, which makes me very happy. Looks like we managed to get back one of our amenities, and we're holding just fine. So I'm not going to need to screw around with any stuff in here. We're ready to chop. 1 chop and 2 chops. There's the Colosseum. This gives you +2 culture, +2 loyalty, and +2 amenities to every city center that is within 6 tiles of the Colosseum. So pretty much, if I'm going to be settling like 2-3 more cities, I want to make sure they're in range of this. But those extra amenities are huge, especially for me because I'm playing Scotland, because I get an extra 5% for positive amenities, which is really great. But now I really, really do need to go back and backfill for settlers. It just really can't be delayed anymore. I've kind of delayed my settling to an unreasonable degree this game. I also want recorded history to get the extra campus adjacency. I have really, really good campus adjacency right now. And I've also been missing out on a lot of great scientists because of whoever is, just going crazy on great scientists right now. There's a few people competing for them. I'll also need to get I'll need to start getting my industrial zones up soon. Looks like he wants to trade horses for swords, for iron rather. I want to keep my iron because having the potential swordsman in my arsenal seems pretty valued to me right now. Movember is popping off with the science, which is a little scary. Hanging Gardens have gone excellent. I mean, I'm pretty happy with getting the Colosseum. Let's go ahead and delete this now that we've completed this. Do I think it's worth it to build a consulate? I'm not influencing enough city-states at a level to where it would make sense, unless I were to put another envoy into both Mitla and Geneva, and I was confident that they both weren't going to die. If I were to do that, in particular, Geneva and Mohenjo-Daro. If I put it into Mohenjo-Daro, I get suzerainty of them, and I discover Sweden's lands, which is perfect. And I put that into Geneva. Now if I were to build the consulate, I'd get +2 influence points per turn, and can I get this to update? It should give me, yeah, there it is. All right, so it should give me +2 science and +2 culture, which makes this building really, really valuable. And I'm currently earning, if I check my envoy screen up here, I'm earning 5 influence per turn, which means it takes me roughly, I believe it's 20 turns to get an extra envoy. If I build this building, that'll go up to 7 envoy points per turn, which means it's about 13 turns. So that's actually a significant boost to how quickly I get my envoys, and I'm going to get the consulate online nice and early, and hopefully just try to take advantage of as many of these city-states as possible, preferably without being suzerain, which might sound weird, but I want the AI to be suzerain of the city-states so they keep them alive. Let's take out urban planning, we'll plug in colonization, and we'll also plug in campus adjacency, because I need to not fall behind in science, and that brought me up to 61 science from 40 science, so that's a big deal. Even if I lose a little bit of production in these cities, it's still worthwhile. Tech-wise, I think it would be good to get my alliances up. I haven't met who Sweden is at war with. In fact, whoever Sweden was at war with appears to have died or made peace with them. Neither of those options seem great for me. I'd also like to pick up grants to get extra Great People points. 100% Great People points is going to be really, really helpful. I think right now we're earning 8, and I think of those 8, I want to say 1, 2, 3, I think 3 of them are coming from my capital, so that'll bring me up an extra 3, so that'll bring me up to 11. We'll place down a mine. I should switch away from apprenticeship, since I can, well, I guess I'm going to finish it in a turn, so it's not worth switching away from. Settler's on the way. He would like to sell me horses. It would be nice to have access to horses, so I will sell off my Diplo favor. That seems great. But there is apprenticeship. Now that I know where Sweden is, I think settling towards them is a little bit acceptable, especially if I could pick up these truffles. That's an extra 4 amenities, and also a pretty well-defended city. If I were to put like an encampment anywhere in this area, it would kind of screw Sweden pretty hard. I do want to make sure that I'm within 6 tiles of the Colosseum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this city is actually within the 6 tiles of the Colosseum, and then I can squeeze another city in here somewhere. Now in this city, now in Edinburgh, I have a few choices. Do I still need to boost construction? I could boost construction by building a watermill. That would also make the city a little bit more viable in terms of growth. I could also opt to build more settlers. And I think right now I can't delay settlers anymore. As much as it's going to delay my infrastructure, having more cities is just more better. So tech-wise, I'm thinking it would be good to pick up universities. I also need to start thinking about promoting the Hermetic Order so that I can unlock the Alchemical Society building. So in terms of my civil service stuff, I need to find another governor title, and it'll probably be, I don't know, I think I'll go like feudalism into fairs to get that governor title and upgrade to universities. Which means I don't need to unlock universities right now since I don't plan to build them. So it would be good to pick up buttresses to be able to build my dams a little bit sooner, because I do have a dam that I would like to place. Now that I have the plus production from mines, I should start putting down mines in my capital, which means I'm going to want another builder in here. And realistically, I should get that sooner rather than later, because builders have an extremely high payoff curve. And what I mean by that is they pay for themselves really, really fast. Like this builder right now, I'm working 2 tiles that could be improved by my builder and 1 tile that could be repaired. It costs me 74 production to get this builder. He's going to have 5 charges if I plug in the feudalism card. So realistically, for like 40 production, I'm going to get +4 production per turn, which is a really, 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 really good return. And that's only a small portion of what that builder is actually capable of doing for me. Looks like Sweden built Jebel Barkal, which is actually one of my favorite wonders because it's a great way to get faith without having to get faith. Right, lovely. There's shipbuilding. It looks like another wonder went. Apadana has been built. Not a wonder I was prioritizing this game. I did get my monument in air. I'm going to place my campus. Do I want to build my campus right now? I think this city is a little bit vulnerable to potential Indian aggression, but I think it's safe for me to go granary watermill here to get the city growing because it's a low food city. And being able to get this harbor online would be a big deal. I could alternatively also go for a builder in here and get these 2 fishing tiles online, which would be a way for me to grow the city, and I think that's a reasonable pathway to go. Sweden declared war on me again, but I'm a little bit better prepared for it this time. It sucks that this settler got cut off, but I can pick up a bit of gold from selling off oranges to someone like Mansa Musa. I don't know if he already has oranges. He does, so he'll give me quite a significant chunk of gold. So I'll take this 89 plus about 6, 7 gold per turn, depending on how much he's willing to give. Really? 4 gold per turn? Okay, that's fine. But now I can get myself a crossbowman. I'll be able to bring this swordsman back. This city can now shoot for crossbowman levels damage. I have 1 archer up here, and I have another archer that I'm going to try to get back into the city for defensive reasons. And this guy's coming as well to become a swordsman to give the city's extra combat strength. I'm going to build a mine here to give the city even more production. I'm going to put mines on all 3 of these tiles. So it's +6 production for the city from 3 build charges. And I would like to trade somewhere. I think I'm going to put this in Roxburgh to try to get the Petra finished just that little bit quicker. And then we're going to try to run with my scout. Oh man, look at this. That's a +6 campus right there. I don't know about you. Okay, so he forward settled me a little bit. Right, he wants to sell me gypsum. I think gypsum is like worthless right now because I'm pretty sure that was what got yeeted by the World Congress thing. We have access to buttresses, so I want to buy this tile and place it soon. We'll move forward with you. You can kill that heavy chariot. Oh, not quite a kill, but you do have a promotion now. I have a swordsman coming forward. I need another 100 gold, and I need a single copy of iron too. Let's talk to Chandragupta. Maybe he would be willing to give me like 1 copy of iron. No. But he will give me 3 gold per turn for this. That's fine. I need to get like an extra copy of iron from someone. Someone who has like a spare bit. Most of the AIs are currently overflowing on iron. I just want 1 iron off these guys. And the reason I want 1 iron is so when I upgrade this swordsman, he'll actually be able to heal and, you know, perform his duties as a blocker unit. All right, tech-wise, I'm going to pick up construction as well as military engineering to get access to niter. Niter just gives me another really high value tile. This 1, 2, 3. I think I settle. I don't want to take away any of these Petra Hills. I'm okay with taking away 1 Petra Hill by settling on the sheep. I can't settle on the truffles right now, and I can't settle on any closer. But if I settle on the sheep, I do get access to a really good campus in this city. So I think we move towards the sheep. Let's trade with Sterling for 4 food, 3 production. And that will help Roxburgh finish Petra a few turns sooner and actually make that city useful. Because I settled that city pretty early into the game, and it hasn't really done a huge amount for me other than get like a decent campus. You're ready for a promotion, which is good. You can shoot there. The crossbowman is continuing to chase my poor settler here. Growth in this city is going to be a bit of a problem, but we can get a high adjacency campus in here, which should more than make up for it. Let's step forward and shoot, and then we'll shoot again and get rid of this heavy chariot. So the good news is she's kind of wasting her time declaring war on me. because I'm just killing her units and not suffering any damage, which is great news for me. In a sense, even if it costs me resources to do that, it is hurting her. The problem is that she is declaring war on me, and she's not someone who I'm super competitive on science with. Or rather, she's not someone I'm worried about competing with for science, is probably a better way to phrase that. Right. More and more of these chariots are streaming in. We're not having any trouble killing them off. Here's what I might be able to do, actually. I might be able to do a bit of finagling. If I time this right, in 5 turns, Sweden might be able to piece me out. And what I might be able to do is to get India to declare war on Sweden on the turn that I declare peace with Sweden, redirect all of their attention towards India, and then hope that by the time my peace limit with Sweden is up, I'll be able to declare a war of liberation with them because I'm friends with Chandragupta, and therefore get 100% production in all my cities. So that's kind of like a little sneaky plan that I have up my sleeve. Now, my plan here, though, is to also use this swordsman to walk this settler over to this truffles. I really need access to those truffles. Yeah, we're happy in a lot of our cities. I would like a little bit more amenities, though. We got another settler in Edinburgh. Do I keep going for settlers? And I think the answer is a resounding yes, but I may stop off for something useful. Like, for example, perhaps another crossbowman, although really settlers are just going to be the thing because I'm building a lot of infrastructure in these cities, so a settler is going to have a good amount of value here. Let's grab ourselves a monument. The city isn't going to be any good without food, so monument is a necessary thing, and I can't afford to buy the tile that I want to put my campus on. This city does steal a Petra tile from Roxburgh, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Oof, I forgot that there was a swordsman over here. I may have got my scout killed. Although, no, it looks like I can retreat. Excellent. All right, nice kill there. We'll grab the volley promotion on this guy, and I plan to get the garrison promotion on that archer. This guy is going to become a swordsman and link up with that settler, who we're going to try to sneak in and around onto those truffles to sort of act as a blocker to Sweden. And then I'd also like to get my next settler down here to the southeast. Ideally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere maybe off of coast. 1, 2, 3... Let me do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is actually the only city I can settle down here to the south that will be on board with this. But I think I would be better off settling a coastal city. So I'm going to sacrifice maybe one of my Colosseum cities in favor of getting just a better city overall, which I think is a better move. All right, let's go ahead and try to take out this crossbowman. A couple of shots on him, and we'll walk this warrior around, and we'll keep this archer in reserve. We almost have our consulate building, and we did get our 3 mines in the capital, which has the city now up to 24 production, 3.1 of which is coming from having positive amenities, which is really nice. Plus, we're about to finish the consulate. Consulate is going to represent a huge amount of value, and will only ever grow in value as we put more and more envoys into these city-states. All right, there's a catapult in range of my city, which is a small problem for me. I think I need to prioritize killing the catapult and the crossbowman. This guy cannot cross and kill me. I'm also worried about now Mansa Musa looking like he's getting ready to declare war. Can I get a friendship with Congo? I can. What about you? How many... I can piece you out in 2 turns. You... Would you like to declare friendship? Okay, would you like to join my war against Sweden? He'll do that for 1 gold per turn, or 1 gold rather, which is amazing. What about you, Congo? Would you also like to join my ongoing war? No, he will not, because he's friendly with Sweden. I got my consulate. Unfortunately, I think I have to start building a couple more crossbowmen, because there's a bit of scariness going on here. These Mandakalu cavalry can be a big problem for me, so I'll just pop out a couple of extra crossbowmen, and I'll spend just a really short amount of time like researching something like military training to be able to switch my civics around. All right, we took a pretty big hit in this city, which is okay because we can get some kills here. First kill, we'll use this. No, I'm going to promote this archer with garrison so that he's on a highly defendable tile. Then I'm going to shoot you with my city, shoot you with my crossbowman, and keep you moving southwest. I don't know why Sweden continues to press this war. I might be able to distract. All right, we got the Petra. Amazing. Look at that bad boy. Now, that is a very, very nice Petra. Let's try and swap as many tiles over as we can. And ideally prioritize food and production and gold so that he works the Petra tiles first. Lovely. So this city's now in fantastic shape. It's going to be an amazing place. We want to get the granary in here because we want to work as many of these Petra tiles as possible. And the city is currently limited by housing. I think an aqueduct is now actually a good idea, but we'll get the granary first and lock in as many of those Petra tiles as possible. Okay, I have an envoy available. Don't need suzerainty of anyone. Might be better to wait, swap in the diplomatic card that allows me to do more with these. And maybe get suzerainty of Mexico to get that +2 production in consulate. All right, so we're still dealing with a little bit of a problem. I'm going to need some money. Mansa Musa, how do you feel about Sweden? You're kind of friendly with Sweden. How would you like to join war? Okay, he won't join a war against Christina. A little bit unfortunate. I'm kind of just sad that he's probably like Civ with a high gold per turn. I thought I had a pretty good gold per turn. Right? Friendship with India. India's in a common war with me, which is great. Can I now peace out Sweden? Sweden would accept peace, but before we accept peace, let's see if we can't kill one of Sweden's units, like this heavy chariot, and damage this unit to make them less sort of scary to go to war with. And we'll accept that peace. And then pretty soon, we should be able to declare a liberation war. I'll have to denounce Sweden, which will generate me some grievances. But we'll be able to declare a liberation war soon and get that 100% production from the Bannock burn ability. So that's really nice. This is like the first phase of the game where we've been able to take advantage of that. Okay, Mansa Musa declared war on me, as I was expecting. It's not horribly surprising, but it's also not like my favorite thing ever.
Those who in quarrels.
My city still has pretty good defensive strength. The walls are pretty well, like, in a good position. I need money to upgrade this archer, but I'm going to get the kill with this archer, shoot there, and then make sure we do damage to this Mandakalu cavalry to bring his health down. I'll need more cash, so I need to talk to someone like Mavemba and be like, hey, listen, or even like Chandragupta. Okay, a lot of people already have my luxury, so this is making it hard to do trade deals, but my hope is that Persia doesn't have citrus and will pay me like 230 gold. He will pay me 230, maybe a little bit more. 236 gold is acceptable. Next turn I'll be able to upgrade this guy to a crossbowman. He should be able to hold his own in this city because he will have 40 defensive strength because he does have the garrison promotion and he's on a district, so hoping that works out for me. Next, we did reveal Niter. I don't think we found any. We did find some here, which is great because that's actually boosting my my industrial zone that I have planned here, which I have not placed yet because I've been stuck, a little bit stuck. I'm going to place down another mine in my capital and see if I can't get the city to reconsider what it's doing. Right now, I think that this is an acceptable layout. It's growing just fine. It's working a ton of food, ton of production, but 26 production per turn in here. We'll go ahead into here and we will get rid of Core V. We'll keep Natural Philosophy. I definitely want newly trained builders having 2 actions. And I'd also like to get, where is it? Not maneuver, it is feudal contract. So I'm kind of having a hard time here. I'll have to live without settler production for a little bit, which sucks for Edinburgh. But I can spend a turn repairing the outer defenses. It just means I can get my crossbowmen just that little bit quicker. And now my builders are of like an acceptable quality level. Since we're getting pretty close, we're getting pretty close to getting our governor title. I think it's safe now to research universities because I'll be building those soon. I totally forgot to plug in the +2 envoys from first envoy. So I'll just put 2 into Mitla and that'll give me an extra 2 science on my consulate building, which will get multiplied by all my modifiers. Currently it's 30% from Pingala and my amenity boost. Now, as expected, the Mandakalu cavalry have moved in. I'm going to upgrade you to a crossbowman, which will make you a little bit better at holding off this Mandakalu cavalry. We'll shoot him twice. He'll probably heal. He probably has a little bit of experience in the bank. Then I'll continue to produce a settler in here just to get it going. Disturbingly, the AI has blocked me from settling this city. We have access to another great scientist. Looks like Isaac Newton just went, so I'm not at risk of losing him, so I can safely recruit whatever that was. Chosen campus gains 2 housing and 1 amenity, increases non-food yields. Oh dear, I need this guy. I'm going to have to run campus research grants to get this guy. Increases non-food yield benefits of happiness in your cities by 40%. That's amazing. This works so well with my current build. I need this guy. Now, this guy gives me 250 science per adjacent mountain. Can I find somewhere with 5 mountains? Looks like that is a nope. But I do have a 4 mountain slot here. Maybe it's better if I do a search for mountain. And that might make the shapes just a little bit more obvious for me. Looks like there's a 3. There's almost a 5 over here. If I could get a 5, that would be amazing. But I'll take a 4. I'll take a 4 mountain surround. And it looks like the best one I can get is a 4 mountain surround. So Galileo can head over here instead. Okay, so he has coursers. That's a problem. I am about to finish a crossbowman in my capital. I'll probably have to get walls in here, which I really don't want to have to do. I would really like to be working campus research grants in basically every city. In fact, I'm going to be greedy and do just that thing. Instead of getting the settler, I'm going to do a campus research grant in here because I personally feel like I need this guy. This guy is so good, and I'll get about 15 per of these that I run. No, it's gonna be close, but man, do I want him. It just like lines up perfectly with my game plan. Okay, Courser came out of the fog of war and murdered my poor crossbowman, despite him being a garrison promoted and at full health, because a crossbowman and a Courser together was just too much. But we're still pretty safe. He's probably going to pillage that, which sucks. I'll bring this guy down. I don't think I need the walls in my capital. I think I can skip those and get the campus research grants. I can piece out Mansa Musa in about 6 turns. I should be able to survive for 6 turns. I'm also going to settle this city, which will give me access to even more amenities. And am I up to +5 in my capital? I'd really like to be. Nope, it's only at 4. I really want to be higher. I wish I had more amenities. Speaking of, I wish I had more amenities. Can I actually buy more? Persia has gypsum, but I'm pretty sure gypsum got yeeted this era, which sucks. Might be able to get them off it real cheap. I do have a spare copy of cotton, but no one to trade it to. Maybe Movember would be willing to buy my cotton. He'll pay 11 gold per turn, which should be about 230-ish gold. 236 gold, excellent. I've had so many wars declared on me this game, by the way. It's a little bit disturbing, like incredibly disturbing. I have 300 gold in the bank. Let's make sure we buy this tile for Ire. Also, shout out to Quill18. I believe Ire is his favorite football team from Scotland. All right, let's grab coursers because I would like to have coursers myself. If I'm gonna do that, it would be good to get a horseman somewhere, and I think here's the right place to get a horseman. So I might delay that by picking up stirrups instead. In Dumfries, we have really good potential for campuses. There's a +4 right there. Do I want to buy that immediately and place it? I think I do, to lock in its cheap price. And then instead we'll work on a granary because we need this city to grow long term, so we'll just get the quick granary in there. You know what I actually need in here? I need walls to defend myself against a potential extra Sweden war. Now, can I also declare a war of liberation against Sweden? Pretty soon I might be able to, which would give me that 100% production. Listen, I know my current situation is already a little bit questionable, and now I'm considering declaring war for like extra boosts. But listen, can I do a war of liberation? I do not satisfy. Oh, you actually have to capture a city from an ally. Oh, that makes things a little bit more difficult. Maybe it would be good to lose a city to someone then, so I could just continuously declare liberation wars. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty safe right now. I don't think they're going to be able to do a massive amount of damage to me. They are slowing me down, of course, which is bad, because I'm currently half of the Congo science, and I'm super behind on Grey Person generation, but I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!